Junior, I will not take more time, but to welcome you to this session. This session is, we call it SportsWave Champions Insight and Mindset Moment. This is where we get to talk to our champions to understand their mindset, perspective, insight on both personal and professional life. Today, we are glad to have Junior Ganja from Cameroon, who has won many championships in weightlifting. He has won several several Cameroon Weightlifting Cup championships. 2018 won silver medal at the African Weightlifting Championship in Mauritius. 2019 bronze medal at the Senior Africa Weightlifting Championship in Egypt. 2019 again, bronze medal, a gold medal at African Zone 2 Championship in Nairobi, Kenya. 2020 won a bronze medal at the 6th International Solidarity Weightlifting Championship in Tashkent, Uzbekistan. 2022 gold medalist at the Commonwealth Games, Birmingham, England. 2023 he won 3 bronze medals at the African Senior Championship in Cairo, Egypt. 2024, 1 bronze medal at the Senior African Championship in Ismailia, Egypt. And in 2024, again, 2 gold medals and a silver medal at the African Games in Accra, Ghana. Please welcome Junior.
Thank you, sir.
What a big CV in sports.
Pardon?
But I'm saying that's quite an impressive CV. You've won so many championships. And unfortunately, I was looking at the rankings of the Olympics to Paris, and I didn't see your name. So meaning you've not made it, and therefore I want to find out what is your plan for the next Olympics.
Okay, and the infrastructures in Cameroon are not well adapted. The competition conditions, the training conditions for myself, yes. Yes, the training conditions are not really adapted for the athletes to give the best of themselves. So they are just trying, but with the qualification process, it's such that everyone should give the best, and he says the best of himself to expect the qualification. And the financial process is not actually available, because to have to go to a competition means to give financial procedures or financial fees on the way. So there are such problems that rent the competitions quite difficult, because they stress, first of all, to prepare themselves for the competition, but not knowing even if they will compete or not. So that renders the conditions in which they are training very difficult. So it thinks the process of qualification for the Olympic Games are very tight. So
yeah, I understand. I also witnessed it. It's very difficult. It's very expensive. And even I was looking at the list, it's only 7 athletes from Africa who have made it, and 6 are from Egypt. Only 4 are from Egypt. 1 is from Algeria, and the other one is from Nigeria.
Uganda.
Ghana, no?
Uganda.
It says no.
61 category.
Yes, 61 category, yes.
Okay, Uganda. I think because of he's number 26 in the list. So I think there are some athletes who have dropped Yes, so it was very expensive for everybody, and it's a process that we hope that next time IWF will look into it, because poor countries, especially African countries and maybe Oceania, found it very, very difficult to make it. So hoping that the next Olympic cycle, the qualifying process will be a little bit more, easy and flexible for, for everybody. So I understand that, and just hope for the best. And that leads me to my third question. You said preparations are very difficult in Cameroon, which I know is across all African countries, most African countries. But I was told you had a very difficult challenge preparing for Saudi Arabia Championship. Can you talk about it? What happened?
Je veux savoir, tu as insinué, tu as parlé du fait que la préparation pour l'arbitre, lui, était très difficile. Je veux savoir si tu vas réaliser cette performance-là.
Ok. La difficulté concernant la préparation du championnat du monde qui s'est tenu l'année dernière en Arabie Saoudite résidait en fait dans le fait que je revenais de blessures, déjà de très graves blessures, et c'était extrêmement difficile pour moi de revenir de là, mais par la grâce de Dieu, ma plus grande force réside déjà dans mon mental, et je me suis dit, voilà, je peux y arriver, il suffit juste de continuer à croire en moi comme j'ai l'habitude de faire. Et l'autre difficulté également, c'est le fait de ne pas avoir la certitude d'y participer, parce que jusqu'à la dernière minute, nous étions toujours au Cameroun, et vraiment, tout ne dépend pas de nous dans le domaine financier, et on ne reste que à l'attention, on attend juste que la tutelle, qui est le ministère des Sports, réagisse promptement, parce que c'était une compétition. En principe, nous devions faire cette préparation au Bahreïn. De fin, on n'a plus effectué le déplacement pour la préparation. La préparation a été faite ici au niveau du Cameroun. Et vraiment, c'était extrêmement dur. Mais j'ai su vraiment donner le meilleur de moi vraiment pour aller chercher ces performances. Parce que là, c'était des performances que j'ai eu à améliorer. Et comme on dit, c'est parfois dans des moments difficiles ou alors des moments de faiblesse qu'on produit de meilleurs résultats. Comme on dit, lorsqu'un animal est blessé, vraiment, il est capable de beaucoup de choses.
Okay, what he said is the preparation was very difficult because he was coming back from injuries, and that was not easy for him to recover back, because first of all, there's not a system of recovery that are particularly given to athletes in Cameroon. Every athlete should take himself, should be capable of taking himself, should be capable of taking himself in hand, because there is nobody that will give a particular amount of salary for you to get something after your training session, or cure you after your training session. So you should be capable of taking those types of problems in charge yourself. And after these injuries, they knew they were going for the preparation of the competition at the Bahrain. I think that's the word in French, but in English, I don't know. So the psychology arranged themselves that no, we are going to prepare ourselves in this country for a better results, and that was not done. So that psychologically again discouraged them a little bit. In fact, then there are the financial problems now that actually, as I was saying, moreover, that discourages them a lot because besides the problem of they don't actually have the financial and the conditional process for training, they have to reflect again on the problem of are we going to go or not? So it is very, very difficult for them to cope with the two ends, training themselves, thinking of if they will travel, thinking of where they are going to prepare themselves. So everything is quite difficult in Africa in general. So they just give the best of themselves. As you were saying, it is the love of, of the sports that makes him give the best of himself, because if he was not loving the sport, actually, he would have discouraged himself long ago. But since he loves the thing and he's sure that he will give the best of himself, so at least get an Olympic medal, he's how come every day giving the best of himself during his training session, even if he knows that after the training he doesn't have something to put in the mouth, but he gives himself first in the training session before other everything. So that's where resides his his force actually.
Mm, um, I know it's difficult. Preparation is difficult if you do not have financial support,
Yeah.
and if there's no maybe a team around you to support you on the various aspects of training and performance. I know that's a very big challenge for many African countries, but looking at your performance, with all the difficulty, with all the hard conditions that you go through, and you're still able to lift what you are lifting, it means you're very good, and it means with the support, becoming a world champion is not something that is difficult for you. But I've seen a lot of Cameroonian athletes move to France. I don't know whether they move to France on individual basis or they are taken by the France nationals. Do you have plans to move to France or even get a sponsor who can help you achieve your goals?
Voici la procès d'abord le fait que malgré les difficultés du Cameroun, par exemple, il va soulever les mêmes charges et même plus parce que le temps, au fur et à mesure que le temps passe sur sa meilleure, en fait, tu fais de nouvelles réformes. Et par-dessus tout, je vois la majorité des athlètes camerounais pour des portes pour la France. Ils n'étaient pas du tout, ils partent de leurs propres moyens. Oui, c'est la France qui les appelle, qui leur font appel, quoi, maintenant. Vu ce déplacement de la majorité des athlètes camerounais, est-ce que toi aussi tu as des projets de te déplacer pour la France?
Excuse-moi, excuse-moi. Is your volume up? Volume?
Okay.
Add volume. It's raining here. It's raining here. So
Okay. Ça va. Il demande que je parle.
increase your volume.
Okay. Ok. Déjà, la majorité d'athlètes camerounais qui vont de l'autre côté, en France, comme vous le dites, ils ne vont pas déjà de leur propre gré. Et c'est vraiment dans la recherche d'un avenir meilleur, vu que beaucoup partent par exemple, après une compétition, ils décident de ne plus revenir du Cameroun. Et puis de là, avec leur performance, ils sont sollicités dans des pays où ils ont élu domicile. Donc, et pour ma part, vraiment, j'envisage vraiment quitter le Cameroun, mais dans l'optique d'aller vraiment où j'aurai vraiment une préparation adéquate des infrastructures, tout en continuant à défendre les couleurs de mon pays, c'est-à-dire préparer mon avenir, si possible, retourner à l'université pour finir mon cursus académique tout en jumelant sport-études et me permettre de préparer déjà mon après-carrière également. Donc, voilà un peu ce que je peux dire. Je compte vraiment, comme on dit, faire comme les autres, mais tout en restant patriote, tout en défendant les couleurs de mon pays. Et je pense qu'avec des conditions meilleures, cela me permettrait vraiment de hisser encore plus haut les couleurs du Cameroun.
Mhm. He's saying that most of the athletes, Cameroonian athletes that are going from Cameroon to France, are not always called by the France administration, or the most are going, but illegally. I mean illegally, the fact that they are going from Cameroon to participate to competitions organized by France, for example, and or another country, for example, and they are obliged. They find themselves obliged to stay there due to the conditions adapted in Cameroon. So many of them are just gathering the things in the countries that they found themselves in competition, that they estimate very near to France, even if they can manage themselves and render themselves to France. So that's their politics, and he would like to migrate, but not illegally. The best thing for him is to go legally, for him to be able to be come up and down as he wants, because once you move illegally to a country, you must it's a must to have some documents before moving. So it will be quite difficult if he goes illegally. So that's, he wants to go, actually he wants to leave Cameroon, but legally, to permit to cope with not first of all his studies, because he wants to come back to university, because he left in the first year, so he wants to continue while doing the sports actually. And to cope with the two, you must be regular in the country, because when you go out, you might be caught by the police and whatsoever. So you need to be in rules to be free in the country. So so he wants to move out to and to be in contact with good materials, because that it's the fact that the materials that are using here are almost damaged. In fact, that caused most of the injuries here. So he thinks that once he will be in contact with more proper materials, he will permit himself to more train himself and give the best of himself again. So he wants to remain in the defense of his country, but because once you go illegally in one country, you cannot more compete for your country itself. So that's what he thinks.
Yes, I understand that, and that is the proper way. Because if you do it illegally, it means your career will end, and then your vision of becoming a world champion, you might not realize it. Maybe if I can ask, when did you start weightlifting and what inspired you into weightlifting?
Ok, pour ce qui est de mes débuts dans l'haltérophilie, je débute l'haltérophilie en 2010 et là j'avais 17 ans et j'étais élève en classe de 4e et c'est une longue histoire vraiment, mais je peux dire c'est l'haltérophilie qui m'a choisi. Je n'ai pas eu à choisir l'haltérophilie. L'histoire elle est vraiment longue parce que mon défunt entraîneur, formateur, père à son âme, président d'une association où ma grande sœur aînée était membre. Et en fait, j'avais une façon un peu particulière à la maison de faire des travaux. Donc, elle trouvait que je débordais un peu d'énergie. Et elle savait qu'il était entraîneur et qu'il formait également ses enfants dans la pratique de l'haltérophilie. Elle est donc allée vers lui et lui a demandé, en fait, lui a sollicité si en fait, qu'elle avait son petit frère qui vraiment, si elle pouvait l'amener, il a répondu favorablement et c'est comme ça que nous sommes allés ce premier jour et il m'a demandé si je voulais pratiquer l'haltérophilie. Je lui ai dit oui, pourquoi pas. Et c'est comme ça qu'a débuté cette belle aventure. Donc, l'haltérophilie m'a choisi en quelque sorte.
Okay. What he's saying in regards to this question is actually he did not choose weightlifting, but it's weightlifting that chose him. I'm explaining myself. What he's saying is once he was living with his elder sisters in Douala in 2017, where he was a little boy in class of Form 3, and he was having a particular manner of working at home. So when he was asked to fetch water, either of carrying 2 or 1 bucket like others, he was carrying 3, 4 buckets, and he was impressed by everybody. Then that's how his elder sister had an association in the quarter with a president, with the president of the association being its late coach. That unfortunately is no more with us. And his elder sister, knowing that he was training people with from weightlifting, she asked the late coach that I have my junior brother, he's debordant of energy. I don't know what I can do with him. I want you to canalize his energy and all the like. He said, okay, let him come and we see how we will manage. That's how it went, and the very, very beautiful adventure started. 2010.
Okay, oh, I understand. So naturally, you are strong, and people noticed this and enlisted you into weightlifting. So you've never tried any other sport?
Yes.
What's just
Well, I'm playing football, but I have an injury
on his leg.
Yes.
He got an injury while playing football, more younger, so he decided to
Okay.
when I start
weightlifting.
weightlifting,
he could not manage weightlifting and football, so he chose weightlifting and abandoned the football.
Yeah, understand. So if you're not training weightlifting, what else do you do?
Ok. Actuellement, je n'ai pas d'activité particulière. J'avais bien la volonté de continuer, mais le système au Cameroun ne nous permet vraiment pas de suivre, de faire sport-études. Donc, il fallait absolument faire un choix parce que ma première année académique à l'université, j'ai pas pu la terminer parce que j'étais convoqué à l'équipe nationale et j'ai manqué les galops d'essai. Donc, j'ai dû me consacrer uniquement au sport. Je me suis dit, bon, je fais un choix et puis j'assume mon choix. Donc, jusqu'ici, ce n'est que l'haltérophilie. Lorsque je ne m'entraîne pas, je me repose. Si éventuellement j'ai des petits boulots, mais juste à temps partiel, pas des trucs formels déjà, pas des trucs formels, mais juste des petits boulots à temps partiel. Mais la plus grande partie du temps, lorsque je ne m'entraîne pas, je maximise dans la récupération parce que c'est ça le plus important en haltérophilie, se reposer.
Okay. What he's saying is he doesn't have a particular occupation while practicing the weightlifting because when he when he started to be a professional, he was in first year university, so he didn't finish the first year university because he was called for a trial run that he had to leave the school to attend the trial run. So it was like difficult to join the two ends, and he made the choice of being an athlete in weightlifting, and now he is more emphasizing on the recuperation, in fact, after the training session, because that's the most important in weightlifting, to rest, eat properly, to be sure that the next day you will be have the same vitality during your training session. So he doesn't have a particular occupation for the moment.
Okay, I understand. So at the moment you are focused on weightlifting,
Yes.
but you have intentions to go back to college.
Yes.
University.
Yes, university. It's important. Education is very important. So because when you finally leave weightlifting, it's education that will help you in any capacity, in weightlifting or in general life. So it's something that I would urge you as a person that you try and ensure that you finish your college, your university degree. What degree are you? What were you studying?
Pardon?
What were you studying at the university?
Economic science. That's what he was studying.
Economic science. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
and he started the first year and he did not end it, so he wants to start at fresh from the first year to obtain, even if it's just the bachelor.
It's important.
Yes, it's important.
It's important. You juggle and see, have the two maybe go hand in hand, so that when you retire, you have something to fall back on. Or even if you get injured, that you cannot continue, you still have a life to continue.
Yeah.
So I see Cameroonian weightlifters are very strong. Do you have experts around you, or is it your diet? What do you guys do to make you that strong? Do you enlist experts to help you in terms of your performance, or is it just training?
Il dit que au Cameroun, vous êtes généralement formé. Donc, ce qu'il veut savoir, c'est que est-ce qu'il y a des experts, est-ce qu'il y a des gens qui ont déjà eu affaire avant toi qui vous donnent cette connaissance-là? Ou bien c'est seulement l'entraînement qui peut faire ce genre d'affaires?
La chance que j'ai, c'est d'être assez ouvert et on a des aînés qui ont pratiqué cette discipline vers qui je me retourne à chaque fois, qu'ils soient au Cameroun ou à l'extérieur. Lorsque je fais des vidéos, quand je m'entraîne, je fais des vidéos que je les envoie par la suite et ils essayent de m'apporter des critiques sur la technique et sur comment améliorer les performances. Donc, c'est ce que je fais au quotidien. J'ai des aînés qui ont fait aussi de belles jours de beaux jours dans l'haltérophilie, vers qui je me retourne à chaque fois pour, pour prendre cette sagesse et pour m'améliorer au quotidien.
Okay, he's saying that there are experts and elders to him that every time after a training session, because during the training session, he has the he takes videos of his training session, and while he finishes, he sends them to either those that are in Cameroon or out of Cameroon that take the time to appreciate the video and the comments. And the comments goes to the sense of ameliorating the technique or the way of carrying, and that's what makes him perfect. So out of the training that is very, very, very rigorous, he has the support of the others that bring in more experience for him to better give the best of himself during his training sessions, not to talk about in competitions.
So no sports scientists, just friends and people who have experience in weightlifting.
Pardon?
I'm saying the people who help are not sports scientists, or yes, but just friends or people who have knowledge of weightlifting.
They actually have knowledge of weightlifting because they are particularly coached. And to be coach, there is a procedure. You don't wake up in the morning and say, no, I'm a coach and all the like. There is a procedure that they usually learn and have certificates. So apart from being all in the domain, in the sports, they actually learn to have more knowledge about the thing. So they are well situated. That's even from the sides of knowledge or from the side of practicing. They know how to guide the athlete for him to make much more in the training session.
Okay. I understand that. Do you have a particular way of managing your recovery after training?
Pas une façon particulière de gérer la récupération après l'entraînement. Est-ce qu'il y a un programme, en fait, savoir s'il y a un programme que tu suis à la lettre parce que les athlètes, c'est comme ça, par exemple, comme les footballeurs, ils ont des athlètes qui vont manger à midi, le soir et tout et tout. Est-ce que chez toi, ça se passe comme ça?
Non, non, c'est pas le cas parce que déjà, avec l'haltérophilie au Cameroun, l'haltérophilie ne nourrit pas son homme. Donc, j'essaye de faire avec les moyens de bord. J'ai pas une attitude standard. Donc, ce qu'il y a, j'essaye de faire avec au quotidien. Donc, j'ai pas un suivi particulier, mais derrière aussi, je suis un peu sélectif même dans ce qu'il y a, parce que pour pouvoir maintenir, par exemple, mon poids de corps dans la catégorie de moins de 102, je dois éviter de manger trop gras et je dois éviter également de manger à des heures tardives. Mais voilà, j'essaie de faire avec ce qu'il y a, mais tout en contrôlant également pour ne pas déborder avec le poids de corps.
Okay. He's saying that there is not a particular program of recovery that he's following during the training session or the training period. Because in Cameroon, weightlifting is not a sport that they actually take into consideration, because if it was a footballer offshore, he would have a well-adapted coach, a material, and everything that goes with it. But they are not actually, there is not a budget that is being made, that is being put into place, in fact, for the weightlifting athletes to benefit of. But what he tries to do is to maintain his weight in the less than 102 kilograms. He ensures himself of what he eats and at the hours he eats to not exceed the weight demanded.
Il y a la supplémentation. Je récupère aussi à travers des suppléments alimentaires que j'achète.
Okay, he says his way of recovery resides in the alimentary supplements that he buys sometimes, because he doesn't consume it all the time. So sometimes when he has a competition, an important competition, that's when he put the alimentary supplements into place, because they are not cheap, they are costful. So he has to manage them when he has a very important competition. So that's how he manages his recovery.
Okay, I understand. But on supplements, how do you ensure that whatever you are using is not contaminated?
Ok, la particularité, c'est connaissant déjà les risques d'antidopage, les risques de dopage, et on nous dit l'athlète est responsable de ce qu'il consomme. Je prends la peine à chaque fois de télécharger la liste des interdictions que l'AMA met en ligne. Je me rassure avec le produit que j'achète qu'il ne contient pas de substances interdites. Donc, voilà ce que les précautions que je prends derrière. À chaque supplément que j'achète, je me rassure avec qu'elle ne soit pas, comment dirais-je, qu'elle n'enfreigne pas les règles qui sont les interdictions de l'AMA.
Okay, he's saying that for the alimentary supplements, the supplements that he takes his time to download the restrictions put in place by the AMA,
Organisation mondiale.
organization, the
Company.
Yes.
Yes, the World Organization of
WADA. WADA.
WADA, yes.
Voila, okay. So
Mhm.
when he downloads now these restrictions, he makes sure that in each product that he buys, there doesn't figure any of the substance listed in the list of interdicts of restrictions. Yes, that's how he manages.
Yeah, it's a very tricky thing. It's very delicate. Sometimes you can buy something hoping that it is good, and then turns out to be bad. Another question is, do you keep data? Do you record everything that you do in terms of training?
Yes.
Je me rappelle tout ce que tu fais quand tu t'entraînes.
Yes. Déjà, toutes mes séances d'entraînement sont préparées à l'avance et ça dépend aussi des périodes. Une période comme celle-ci, lorsque je dois m'entraîner, j'ai un cahier où je note les programmes. Et si, par exemple, j'ai pas le temps de noter, je fais un programme même dans ma tête. J'essaie de voir les mouvements qui vont avec la période dans laquelle je me trouve et j'essaie d'adapter ma séance d'entraînement sur toute la semaine.
He says that he records everything he does during his training session. That when he has to train on a week, the weekend before, he takes a notebook because he has a notebook where he notes each program of the week. So every program, all his training session, he notes before starting it. And if it comes that he has forgotten the day he wants to train, he just adapt his program to the period in which he's training, because there are periods he train with huge charges, and when he bring the charges down for him not to exhaust his forces. So he keep on memorizing. In fact, there are days that he doesn't even he don't even need to write his training sessions, that he already have it in the head. He is his proper coach.
So how do you review what you've done if you don't write? How do you review maybe week 1 against week 6 if you don't write it down?
Attends, te pose la question, je crois qu'il y a place. Il demande comment tu fais donc pour revoir en fait ce que tu as fait, si même tu ne l'écris pas déjà. Je vais dire en fait les vidéos que tu as.
Déjà, l'autre particularité, c'est que lorsque je n'écris pas, à toutes mes séances, je fais l'effort de faire des vidéos et ça me permet également de me retrouver lorsque je veux me rappeler. Il suffit juste que je prenne mon téléphone, je vois la majorité des mouvements que je fais et je fais des vidéos derrière. Déjà, après, ça me permet de voir la qualité de la technique, si le mouvement est bien exécuté et voilà.
Okay, he says even when he doesn't take down notes of how he is going to train himself, he constantly take videos of his training session, and when he wants to record or to review whatsoever, he just take his phone and get into it and see what he wants, and that makes it more easier.
Oh, okay. Then how often do you test? How often do you test your program?
Comment tu essayes de programmer? Comment tu te rassures que le programme que tu as écrit va actuellement donner ce que
How do you know? How do you know that the program that you are using is working? How do you test to know that what I've been using is working?
Ok. Ce que je fais, par exemple, en début de semaine, le programme, en fait, en fin de semaine, généralement, mon programme prévoit une légère gamme montante qui me permet de juger, d'apprécier le programme que j'ai mis sur pied en semaine. Donc, en fin de semaine, j'essaie de faire une petite évaluation en faisant une séance en gamme montante pour vraiment me focaliser sur le programme.
He says that after a week that he has planified, at the end of the week there is a day reserved to a session of rising games. So he trains himself in such a way that the game of that day will be rising to ensure himself of the program. If the program that he put in place during all the week has been efficient, and that's how he managed to know if the program that he planified is actually working for the goal he attempts to, he works to.
Okay. Do you have training partners or you just train alone?
Yes, I have a training partner.
Okay.
He has a training partner.
Oh, okay. So maybe have you experienced challenges from friends, family, you know? What are some of the challenges that you, beside lack of financial support, you know, from the federation, lack of equipment? What about from friends or family members? Do you experience some challenges?
Est-ce que tu as aussi des difficultés en ce qui concerne la famille, les amis? Est-ce que ça t'apporte aussi, comment dire, est-ce que tu as des responsabilités, des parties prises en ce qui concerne la famille, les amis?
Déjà, au début, c'était un peu compliqué parce que avec la famille, déjà, j'ai un très grand soutien du côté de la famille. Mais dans les débuts, c'était vraiment pas ça parce que à chaque fois, lorsque je revenais d'un stage ou d'une compétition, ça, en fait, ça tardait à venir et beaucoup se posaient des questions vraiment sur la nécessité de continuer. Mais avec le temps, lorsque j'ai commencé des compétitions internationales et ça a commencé à aller, parce que rien que ce privilège de pouvoir sortir, prendre de l'avion et aller défendre les couleurs de son pays, et chacun a commencé à m'encourager. Et des responsabilités, j'en ai. Avec des amis, j'essaye de me comprendre. Ils savent que je ne peux pas être disponible tout le temps à leur convenance. Donc, j'essaye de m'adapter. Et comme responsabilité, j'en ai énormément parce que je suis le successeur de papa. Donc, à la tête d'une très grande famille. Donc, par moments, c'est vraiment difficile pour moi parce que il faut gérer certains conflits familiales. Et puis, voilà, compliqué, mais j'essaie de m'adapter.
Okay. He's saying that concerning family members or friends, it has not been quite easy because there are periods when he was starting, it was not direct, it was not, everything was not following because he was sometimes taking part to some strategies, but he was going back home and others were going to competitions and he was going as traveling, that the family actually supported him more and more, that he can give. So everybody was now putting the hand that no, it is something in that time. It promises, in fact. So, and the family problems he has because he is in charge of a very big family. He represents the father in absence. So he manages to put in place peace and all the like in the family. Concerning friends, there are some moments that friends have particularly they need him. In fact, he's wanted sometimes, but sometimes he's out of the country, so he cannot respond to all the obligations. But he tried to explain to his friend that no, as you can see, I'm not there and all the like. So they try to manage without him. So that's some conflicts to which he's confronted every day in life.
Okay, I understand having the responsibility to take care of your family in the absence of your father. And of course, friends' needs are also, things that you really have to manage. So, do they talk badly to you on social media? Do people say bad things about you in social media, and how do you handle them?
Est-ce que les gens disent du mal de toi sur les réseaux sociaux et comment tu gères ça?
Déjà, je suis pas très actif sur les réseaux sociaux et celui que j'utilise couramment le plus, euh, c'est mon WhatsApp et mon Instagram. Et très souvent, là-bas, j'ai plutôt de retours favorables et voilà, pas de mauvaises paroles. Et si jamais je ne réponds pas, j'essaie juste de l'ignorer parce qu'en répondant, c'est là où vient beaucoup de problèmes également. Donc, je peux dire, j'ai plutôt des encouragements, des félicitations par rapport à ce que je réalise comme prouesse tout en étant au Cameroun. C'est où vraiment il y a beaucoup d'appréciation.
He's saying that he's not actively active on social medias. So the only social media he's using is Instagram. And on Instagram, he posts his videos, and the videos are much more appreciated by foreign peoples because they encourage the fact that due to the difficulties he encountered in Cameroon, he is able to lift those type of charges. So he is regularly encouraged by Instagram, but other social media to receive rough or bad messages.
Okay, because social media, Facebook is very bad sometimes, especially when you are succeeding. People who are against your progress can distract you from, just make you feel bad or discredit you for no good reason. And I'm happy that you're saying you're only in Instagram and WhatsApp. In WhatsApp, you are able to control people associate with. And that leads me to my question on how do you prepare mentally when you have an important championship before you or in the near future? How do you work? How do you prepare mentally? After training in the gym, you're okay, you have your technique right. Now, mentally, what do you do? How do you prepare?
En fait, j'ai pas de formule magique en ce qui concerne le mental, parce que déjà, c'est ma plus grande force réside dans mon mental. Et lorsque nous terminons des préparations, aussi difficiles qu'elles soient, quand nous arrivons au lieu de la compétition, je me dis, voilà, euh, j'ai laissé les difficultés derrière, maintenant je dois me focaliser sur ce qu'il y a lieu de faire. Parce que mon objectif est en fait est de marquer les gens que je rencontre en compétition internationale de façon positive. En fait, de laisser une marque, de laisser mon empreinte, qu'on se dise que, waouh, il y avait un Camerounais à cette compétition. En fait, de me démarquer des autres. Donc, c'est comme ça que j'essaie de gonfler mon moral en me disant que, voilà, c'est l'occasion pour moi de montrer qui je suis et ce que je sais faire. Donc, en fait, c'est ce qu'on appelle les motivations personnelles, c'est-à-dire intrinsèques. Et voilà, jumelé aussi aux motivations extrinsèques, qui est des personnes autour de moi, mais il y a cette motivation personnelle-là qui me galvanise davantage.
Hmm. He's saying that there is not a formula, a magic formula that he used to protect his mental conditions, but he just ensures himself that at each important competition, he impacts the persons around him positively because that's what counts. Because if you show a negative impression or give a negative impression of yourself, that's how people will take you. So he just managed himself to impress people, but in a positive manner, either by his comfort or his way of working or his results. That's what counts for him. So that's what nourish his mental conditions, in fact.
So do you talk to yourself? And what do you say to yourself? I've heard you sometimes say Aziza. What does that mean? Azize or Aziza?
It's the motivation, personal motivation.
So that's how he do it. He talks to himself, and it's a motivation word that he constantly repeats to himself that permits him to suppress or to to create more courage, because to realize to do even some challenges you need to have more to be encouraged and by yourself properly at first, because when you're properly encouraged by yourself, the encouragement coming from around is just a surplus that you're adding to your encouragement mentally to be able to carry the charge in front of you.
Yeah. So that is while that that is while you are on the stage. Do you start doing it a few days before the competition, or you just talk to yourself during the competition?
Est-ce que tu parles à toi-même seulement pendant la compétition ou bien chaque fois quand tu t'entraînes, tu te motives pour
Chaque fois, chaque fois.
So he says all the time when he trains, whatsoever, even if he is in competition or not, he has some particular words or phrases that he gives to himself that encourages him.
Et aussi, mon mental aussi, comme je disais, c'est ma plus grande force. Et je tiens déjà à dire merci à celle qui est à mes côtés, parce que elle est celle-là qui entretient aussi ce mental au quotidien, qui m'apporte vraiment une certaine stabilité et je lui dis, mais je profite de l'occasion pour lui dire merci pour ce qu'elle fait au quotidien. Donc, elle est vraiment cette source de motivation, en fait, elle est celle-là au quotidien qui me permet d'avancer, même quand ça va mal. Elle me dit, pense juste à notre avenir et puis voilà, et donne le meilleur de toi.
He was adding the fact that his mental force lies on the fact that every day I'm at his sides like this to encourage him, to tell him no, don't discourage yourself. Just think about our future and you will make it. In fact, he's saying that he's thanking me in front of you for the good job I'm doing every day.
Mm. Yeah, that's very good. That support is key, is important for anyone to succeed. First, you must have that family support. And if you have that family support, as I can see, that's very nice and makes you relax, makes you focused and do what you have to do. And continue doing that until he becomes a champion.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
continue doing that and help him mentally. You know, you can train very well in the gym, and if you're not psychologically prepared, then you lose everything. You've seen people not finishing, bombing out because of being not in a position to handle that pressure. Yeah, people bomb out because of pressure. But if you are collected and you prepared mentally and you talk to yourself, tell yourself, you know, what is positive, what motivates you, what encourages you, I don't think you cannot succeed. It's a very major component in terms of performance. And probably I would also ask, spiritually, do you have some spiritual way of motivating or encouraging yourself, you know, to perform?
Especially de façon spirituelle, de travailler dans de dire oui, je peux.
Oui, de façon spirituelle, des façons spirituelles, j'en ai. C'est déjà, on dit nos premiers dieux sont nos parents, nos ancêtres. Donc, à chaque fois, je ne cesse de les appeler, vraiment qu'ils viennent me donner la force nécessaire de pouvoir braver. Et au-dessus de cela, on a le Dieu créateur, également à qui au quotidien je demande la santé, la force également de pouvoir m'exprimer, de pouvoir démontrer ce que je sais bien faire.
He's saying that, of course, he has a spiritual man of encouraging himself. Firstly, he trusts in the fact that our first gods on earth are our parents or our ancestors. So he regularly call them for the physical and mental force to permit to succeed. And secondly, he's a Christian, he goes to church and he trusts that God can change every situation.
Yes, those are three. It's important to be prepared spiritually, mentally, and physically. Maybe I would ask you to comment on the coaching system in Cameroon. Are they government supported? Do you have colleges or a certification system that ranks or qualify coaches?
une petite
Commencez-vous à présent.
demande.
En fait, est-ce que les coachs ont un certificat? Est-ce que c'est un processus bien défini pour être coach? Le système de coaching, est-ce que c'est adapté en fait à votre situation?
En fait, pour être coach, il y a un processus par lequel il faut passer, obtenir un certificat de premier, deuxième, voire troisième niveau. Il y a des formations au niveau national, il y a aussi des formations au niveau international. Mais la plus grosse difficulté réside en fait, euh, l'haltérophilie est un monde en perpétuel changement. Donc, la plus grosse difficulté réside dans l'adaptation à tout ce qu'il y a comme nouvelles règles. Par exemple, c'est pas tout le monde qui a la possibilité ou alors les connaissances nécessaires, peut-être pour faire des recherches, pour s'adapter. Et c'est d'autant plus compliqué. Mais au niveau national, on a des coachs qui sont certifiés et même à l'échelle internationale. Mais vraiment, c'est l'adaptation qui est d'autant plus difficile. Mais on essaye de faire avec.
Il demande maintenant si ce sont les coachs ou le talent des athlètes qui fait le Cameroun un excellent pays d'haltérophilie.
Je dirais les deux, mais en majorité le talent des athlètes.
Yeah, he says that the coaching system in Cameroon is quite normal. In fact, a coach should be certified or should obtain a certificate of first degree, second or third degree to be eligible to accompany athletes during their competition. And to the question, are there coaches for athletes talent that makes Cameroon a good weightlifting country? He says the two because the coach, they do their own work, but much more on athletes' talents because they are very talented, and that makes the great happiness of the Cameroon, of the country.
Okay. But I didn't get the part whether they are government supported or whether you have coaching colleges to accredit them or certify them.
Il demande si le gouvernement qui prend en charge les différentes compétitions, bien vous avez des petites compétitions, bien des sponsors en fait qui prennent
En fait, c'est le gouvernement qui prend toutes les compétitions en charge. C'est où, au début, je disais, c'est là où réside la plus grosse difficulté parce que le gouvernement ne peut pas prendre en charge toutes les compétitions. Dans le calendrier, il vous demande de choisir, disons, 2 à 3 compétitions au max qui prendront en charge. Et le reste, c'est vraiment difficile. C'est parfois au président de la fédération de se débrouiller par ses propres moyens pour qu'on participe à certaines compétitions.
Okay, he's saying that all the competitions are normally paid by the government. So it's the government that makes everything for them to assist to every competition. And due to the difficulties, the financial difficulties of the country, they are asked to choose either 2 to 3 competitions that they judge important for them because the rest they cannot afford every competition. And now it comes to the president of the federation to take it on himself to to give financial support to some of the competitions that athletes judge very important for them. So due to the fact that the government is the only person taking in charge, it's very complicated. So that's why they sometimes miss important competitions because all the financial procedures are not put into place to permit them to go and express themselves to bring back more best performances.
Okay. Do you have a coaching college for all sports?
Do we have
A coaching college for all sports? An institution just that trains coaches?
yes. Si
Mais
vous
pas-
avez
Il y a des écoles qui forment les coachs. Oui. En fait, on a des universités ou des institutions qui forment des coachs ou alors disons des coachs, mais ils n'ont pas la discipline de l'haltérophilie en fait dans ces institutions. Donc, il y a d'autres sports, mais l'haltérophilie n'y est pas encore au programme.
So as I was saying, they likely take the weightlifting on to the point where they do exist coaching universities, but they do not form coaches in weightlifting. So they have you can see some other disciplines like football, handball, volleyball, but weightlifting not yet.
Oh, okay. Okay. Maybe my last question is, since you started weightlifting, how has it impacted on your life?
En fait, cela a impacté ma vie dans le sens où je suis devenu un modèle pour la société du Cameroun, pour ma famille, et ça a impacté également ma vie. En fait, avec de nombreux voyages que j'ai eu à faire, ça m'a permis de voir un peu tout ce qu'il y a comme diversité culturelle, de faire la rencontre de certaines personnes avec qui jusqu'aujourd'hui on a de très bons contacts. Par exemple, vous-même, Mr. John, le sport m'a permis de vous connaître, de connaître plusieurs autres personnes dans le monde entier. Donc, ça a eu un impact positif.
He says since he started weightlifting, it has really impacted positively his life because, first of all, he is a model for our society, and not just our society, because he can now he's the one to which they're taking reference, from which they're making reference, that you can see, you can make like tail, you can make like that, you can when of course when people are taking examples, he becomes an example for not only weightlifting, but he received recently a prize in sports excellence from from Cameroon. So he received a particular letter of encouragement from the president of our country. So he became a model, in fact. So that sports permits him to receive a prize of excellence in sports. And notwithstanding, the career permits him to meet people like you people. So particularly you, Mr. John, he says he's very happy to make your to know you. In fact, he's grateful for all the contacts he has during his different travels. When he travels every day, he meets many people with whom he keeps very good contacts, and he's very grateful for that. So that's the good impact of that sport in his life.
Yeah, that's very nice and encouraging. So remember when we started, we were talking about education. So all the lessons that you are learning in weightlifting, the impact that you have, you need to take it to the next level. It
Yeah.
has to continue, you know, so that even when you're not training weightlifting, you still hold that respect that you have now. And of course, you know, continue being a role model for others. I also have to say that I appreciate your comment that my interaction with you believe it has maybe impacted you, or it's been positive, learned something from me. I have to appreciate that, because not everybody you meet appreciates you, or gets to understand maybe your value to them. So it's always good to have that good relationship and to learn from each other, and extend our horizon of knowing people all over, so that when you have an issue, or if you have anything that you want to find out or to inquire from Cameroon, I have you as a friend beside others that I know I can always reach out to you. And likewise, if you want anything from Kenya that you think I'm in a position to provide or give you that information, you're always free to reach out. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And unless you have anything to say to maybe advise other weightlifters who would want to be like you.
Si tu as quelque chose à dire, tu peux conseiller d'autres personnes qui veulent bien comme toi.
En fait, ce que je peux dire à tous ceux qui veulent ou qui souhaitent être comme moi, c'est de croire en eux et surtout de se dire que forcément, ce qu'on fait aujourd'hui ne paye pas forcément aujourd'hui et que il faut être patient et tout arrive dans la vie à point nommé à celui qui croit et sait être patient.
He says that he will encourage every other person that wants to be like him, because it's not just what they see, but it's a succession of work. You must work hard and hard to obtain a certain level in life. And beside work, you should be very, very patient, because everything comes to one that is very patient and knows how to act in life. So that's the little advice he can give to each and every other one that wants to be like him.
Okay. Merci beaucoup, and thank you so much. Hope to see you again.
Thank you, sir.